We are going to discuss how your lesson went on prepositions that I came and watched and inferencing, and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to know what you thought about the lesson itself. How do you think it went?
I think it went well. I think it helps them to understand inferencing as readers whenever they are the writer and they're creating those clues in their writing. They understand it more as readers,
Definitely.
how to make inferences.
Definitely. It was very clear that the kids were comfortable in your classroom to share what they had written as writers, and I wanted to know how have you built such a rapport with your kids so that everybody feels safe enough to share without judgment or giggles from their classmates? How do you do that so well in your class?
We just write a lot. That's something that every day they write something. When we start out at the beginning of the year, they have the option of whether or not they stand up and share it, or they just let me read it, or how they do that. And then the ones that are hesitant in the beginning, once they see the other people sharing and that it's okay, and I try to find something in every piece of writing that I can praise, then they want to share it too. And when I use I use a Seesaw app so they can publish it that way, and their friends can just read it, and they're not actually having to read it aloud. And that helps a lot to just make it comfortable and easy for them to share that writing.
Yeah, I really like that. I really think the kids enjoyed that also. You called every student by their name. You praised throughout the lesson. You shared good, you shared bad. I mean, it was consistently seen throughout the lesson, and I think the kids knew not only what your expectations were, but also that they were free to work as hard as they could and be safe in that, which is so important. I also wanted to know how you make sure that all of your kids on all levels stay engaged in a lesson. How do you make your struggling writers feel as comfortable, and how do you differentiate a lesson to where your low level all the way up to your high level kids are engaged and are meeting the needs of all the kids instead of just one bulk lesson?
Well, I keep them engaged by giving them something to write about. I don't put them in a box. And usually I'll give them a picture or a series of pictures, and I'll say, tell me the story. And it can be anything. It can be anything that their mind can imagine, and they love that. When I say, I don't know if these people are on planet Earth or if they're aliens or they're, and just take it wherever you want to take it. And they love that. Mm-hmm. And so I don't ever really have a problem with them being engaged in writing, except for when I say, tell me something you really love about 5th grade science. And then, that interest just dies. So that's the biggest way to keep them
on
engaged.
Topic with something that interests them.
Yeah,
that's really great.
If they enjoy writing about it and imagining it, then they're going to stay on topic. And then, for my lower level kids, really just my expectation changes. If I'm saying include in every piece of writing, I want them to include some kind of figurative language. But my struggling writers, I'm looking for an onomatopoeia, something simpler that they can, begin with. My more advanced writers, I want a metaphor. And so that's really just, I differentiate more in my expectation and the bar that I set for them in their writing.
Can you explain, or can you discuss how their learning is improved by giving the differentiated lessons? How you can improve each kid if you will work with them on their level to improve how they do?
Well, they don't feel defeated. When I say, all right, everyone needs to give me a metaphor, and then I have to say, well, no, that's not a metaphor, that's a simile, or that's neither, that's,
Mm-hmm.
Then they're just constantly defeated. If I give them something that they can get, and I can say, while I'm praising this kid's metaphor, I can also say to this one, that's a great onomatopoeia, and you used it perfectly, then they're getting the same level of praise. They are also being an accomplished writer,
mm-hmm.
and so, they're not defeated.
And also, the students don't know that a metaphor is a lot higher than an onomatopoeia, so they don't see the difference. Like I said, all around it was a great lesson. I think you did a great job. I think that the more differentiation that can be shown in every lesson, in every teacher's classroom, the better learning will be for all kids. But I think your kids are engaged, which is probably the hardest yet most effective tool that we as teachers can do to keep them into the lesson. So very well done, and I enjoyed it.